Jean Glasgow is going to talk to us today about Arcadia before the Big Mac. There's flyers about things that are coming up here, and other than that, Jean.
Okay, great, thank you. I know many of you here in the room here. There's a little article in the paper that was put out, the little publicity. This today it says, "Bag the talk." Jean Glasgow will be talking about Arcadia before the Big Mac. So I guess it's a lot of people read this. I don't know. But, that bag the talk. That sure does catch you. The headline sure does catch you. You know. Well, I've invited a few people here that I know that this is more of a collaborative, joint effort. I'm just going to be speaking about Arcadia before the Big Mac. When I was growing up, before the McDonald's, my frame of reference is the McDonald's on Foothill Boulevard. Al and I were talking about that earlier, which was built, I want to say right around 62, 63. I'm still trying to get verification on exactly when that went up, and I'm sure I could check with the city. But for the purposes of this meeting, let's just suppose that it was around 62, 63. I think that went up, and I remember many things that happened. That many restaurants that we had before those days. But before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Jean Glasgow. I was born in Los Angeles, and we moved to Arcadia in 1954. I went to Highland Oaks, First Avenue, and Arcadia High. And I've got some of my friends here that went to school with me. And,
how about before Arcadia High?
Before Arcadia High was
I graduated from Monrovia Arcadia Duarte High School in 1940.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some other people in this room.
1942.
Yeah, that
42?
really goes back.
I was
I must have known you then because I was 41 or 42 also.
Wow.
What was the first class that graduated from Arcadia High?
55.
55?
55 was it? Yeah, great. My sister went there as well. Anyway, enough about myself. What I've done is I've put together a few pictures of restaurants and eateries that used to be right here in Arcadia before the McDonald's went up on Foothill Boulevard. Most of those are gone, with the exception of one or two. The rest of them are now buildings we'd never even recognized what they were before. So without any further ado, I've got a little slideshow prepared. And later on, I thought, we could, as I understand they do with these meetings, we could ask the audience to participate and provide some of their anecdotal remarks with regards to the topic that we're covering today. Just a little bit of background on McDonald's local history. In 1937, I don't know how many of us knew this, that Dick and Maurice, or his nickname was Mac, McDonald opened the Aerodrome hot dog stand in Arcadia in 1937. It was near the San Diego racetrack, and I suppose that there was some connection with the air school, the balloon air school, and it was called the Aerodome.
Really?
And so they were, I would say they were pretty good opportunists, but so was the owner, the present owner who's now passed away, Ray Kroc. 1940, the McDonald brothers moved to San Bernardino to open McDonald's. And then in 1955, Ray Kroc, who most of us know as the owner of McDonald's Corporation, opened his first franchise in Plain, Illinois. And then it was in 1961 that Ray bought out McDonald Brothers for $2.7 million and began expanding nationwide, the McDonald's restaurant chain. And in 1962-63, as I said, the McDonald's up on 143 East Foothill opened. Interesting story about that. My father was in the food business, and he knew Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc was a salesman. Before he sold shake makers, he worked for the Lily Tulip Company, and they manufactured straws and paper cups, wax cups. And my dad was also in Chicago managing, he was the vice president of the in-store, the soda fountains inside the drugstores. That was a big thing back in those days. And Ray approached him, and they became friends, and my dad bought some cups from him to supply in some of his stores. So back in 1962 or 63, actually prior to that, Ray approached my dad and asked if he would want to open up a McDonald's here in Arcadia. And I remember sitting around the dining room table. I was about 13 then, and my dad said, "Would you, after school, would you want to help out if I open up we open up a McDonald's for $35,000. Would you flip hamburgers? And I said, oh, Dad, I don't want to flip hamburgers. I got other things to do. Well, you know, the owner, the man that bought that, who ended up, you know, obtaining that location, opened up 3 or 4 more. And he's long time now retired, living in Florida, I understand, and has races cars. And that particular location has changed ownership many times since 1962. So as fate had it, I didn't work for McDonald's.
So your dad didn't buy it?
He didn't buy it. Well, he already had a job, and he, you know, very conservative, Depression era, and he felt, you know, a bird in the hand type of thing, you know. So look what happened. So these are just random shots around the city. Some of you may recognize them. This doesn't. It kind of gives it away. Here it says Behind Rods. Does anybody remember the Arcadia Bowl coffee shop?
What street was it actually on?
On Moreland Place.
Moreland.
Right. Right. And now on the left side is the actual coffee shop right here, where these windows are. Then over here was a pool hall. This is now a church.
Oh, the church. Oh, in the bowling alley.
Right. Here's another shot of it.
Yeah, the Quonset
There.
hut, that was a bowling alley.
Right. This is again part of the coffee shop or restaurant right here. They still kept the windows, but that was a great place. There was a lot of activity there.
Well,
Okay.
Before that, there used to be a horse stable.
Well, right next door to it was the horse stables. Right next door. Right, which we would ride the corral horses and even take them up Double Drive up Santa Anita.
Right.
Go right past the bowling alley. Right. This is the present day location of where the Starbucks is located. I have another shot of that. But this is in the general vicinity, and I don't know here, anybody remember Bob's Beef Burger?
Sure.
It was a drive-through. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
It was right on the other side of the railroad track.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and that railroad track is right over here.
trestle.
Another- This is from the railroad track
Okay.
towards. Okay, so now you know where
Second and
Bob's Beef
Huntington.
Burger
Well, that
was.
was
Where the
Doc
train
Fletcher.
tracks go over there.
Yeah, right. How about Burger Lane up on 307 East Foothill? This is just east of the McDonald's now. This is something, Earl, you want to contribute something about?
Any of you that were in the Highlands in the late 40s or the 50s might be able to help me out on this, because I was awful young. And it seems like a gentleman named Swanson owned a gas station called Swanee's Service, right in this location right here. My father knew him through Cub Scouts, and I just remember them talking. And he started a hamburger joint called Burger Lane. It had microphones, just like In-N-Out Burger. And it seems to me, again, that, you know, trying to remember back 55 years, he said, I got the idea from this joint down in Baldwin Park. And so this Burger Lane, surprisingly enough, was still around when I graduated from high school in 1963. I don't remember, but it was in my high school annual. But that, they had the gas station, the service station, remember those, 19 cents a gallon? And the hamburger joint.
Yeah.
And it was,
check your
I
oil,
said, I
yeah.
think it was a gentleman named Eugene Swanson. If anybody knows him, I don't know.
Okay. All right, there's another shot. I don't know what's really in there right now. It's office buildings. There was a real estate office in there, ERA. But anyway, we drive by it every day, and that's what's there. Chow to Go. This is over on Live Oak. I don't know if anybody here remembers Chow to Go.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Great.
I
That was-
played country and western music for their grand opening at a Chinese restaurant.
Did you really?
Their son and daughter took guitar lessons with us.
Is
And
that-
if you could, yeah, for Chow to Go, they had country and western music for their
Is
grand
that-
opening.
for their grand opening.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you were there.
I was there.
That was the place to go. It was the only Chinese restaurant in town.
Yeah.
And for years, we'd drive down. It was a drive from the Highlands down to Live Oak and pick up. Now it's a brake shop.
Oh,
Another good friend, Mr. Bramstead, Wayne Bramstead here. This is. Does anybody know where this is?
yeah,
By the way,
yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Mitchell-Linda and Huntington Drive, right?
Right.
Sunset.
Or Sunset. Sunset.
Well,
this was the El Rancho Market, and
That's right.
Actually, the El Rancho was at the far end.
right.
And then there was, behind, there was Graham's Liquor Store, and then Walk Up Clothing Store, and then there was Rudy's Hair Salon, and down the ways a little bit, there was a barber shop, and then at this position was Marsh's pharmacy and drugstore.
And what did you do in the coffee shop at El Rancho?
I started washing dishes there, and then I was fry cook. $1.50 an hour, which is big time money.
What year was that?
We came to California in 1951, and it was probably about 53, 54, 55.
Buck and a half an hour?
Yes.
Very good.
Well, back in Wisconsin where I grew up, the going rate of working was basically 50 cents an hour. Then I carried out groceries at El Rancho Market, and 95 cents was big money.
Wow.
So then I got elevated to $1.50. Wow.
Gee, wasn't there a Clark drugstore in there? I remember a Clark drugstore,
No, that was on the other end.
other end.
Yes.
And there was
Marsh Farm.
There was a jewelry store and a pet shop there.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
The
there
post
was a
office
shop
was there
around-
too, hardware
around the
store.
back.
There was a dress shop, a little dress shop.
Okay, here's one that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Foster's Freeze. Does anybody know where that was from this picture? Huh? Right, on Live Oak, and it was right across from Taco Tree. And this is where it used to be, right here. And they had the best strawberry shakes, I remember. And it was a great place. It was nice. It was a little hangout on in the summer. Here's another shot of it from Taco Tree, looking east on Live Oak. And there it is right there. It's now a preschool.
When did they change to Taco
It was a
Bell?
bank.
Taco Bell?
Taco Treat, Taco Bell?
Oh,
Taco Treat's still there.
Taco Treat is still there. It's right here.
Something
And
else.
that's been there, and that's also in this presentation. A little later, that's another one, another eating place before the Big Mac.
Yeah.
So, now, does anybody remember George's Wood Pit Barbecue? They had a large pig on a spit rolling around on the top of that roof there, and it would revolve and revolve. And their big claim to fame was wood smoke barbecue, or wood smoke meat barbecue. It was owned by the Matthews family that lived up the street from us,
Oh, really?
and not the same Matthews that is the football star, but Greg Matthews played tuba in band at Arcadia High School. The Matthews family owned it, and then after that, I don't know what happened. It then was Peppers for a while, and it was
Maverick.
Mavericks, and then Peppers, and so now it's a Korean restaurant, and they have an A in the window, by the way, which is good. Henry's Drive-In
Ah, yes.
on the corner of Santa Anita and Huntington.
No, a bank.
It's now a bank. There was a restaurant there before. It didn't do
Well, there was
very well.
Sambo's,
Several.
Baker's Square.
Baker's Square.
Sambo's first, then
and then
Baker
the
Square.
Chinese
Then there was an
restaurant
Asian place.
Yeah.
Was there a chicken place there? Now, it's a great location.
Hard
It's
to
got.
get in and out,
It's
so.
hard to get in there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I would think with access from, as far as exposure is concerned, but still, it's hard to get in there.
Where was the theater?
That's just down the
Left.
street, just down the street.
That chain that's the Ruddy Duck and the musky
Chicken in
Moose-
the rough?
No, the Muskie Moose and the Ruddy Duck and all that, whatever they were, they wanted to go in there, and it's one of those restaurants that would be open real late, and the neighbors complained about that going in there.
Is that right? That's interesting.
Was it also a Carpenter's for a while?
It was Carpenter's.
It was
Right, it
Carpenter's?
was Carpenter's. Right, they changed it to Henry's, and it was also Chicken in the Rough, I believe.
No, well, Henry's, Chicken and Rough was Henry,
Right,
was there,
Before Henry's.
either
Right.
Carpenter.
Carpenter's,
that
that's
was
right.
their- That was something that they served as part of it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that was their
They-
trademark chicken.
It was a chicken with a golf club.
Yeah, chicken with a
Yeah.
golf club. And it was their trademark chicken.
Yeah, it was right up there.
Good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the old museum that was right across the street?
Sure.
Well,
Well,
Henry's had the old man's long handle
Express
underwear
Museum?
hanging out in front.
Pony Express Museum.
And that locomotive is up in,
Wow.
there's Lions and
It's
then
in Reno, Nevada.
Penny burger, I love it.
Yeah. Does anybody remember Leo's Penny Burger? This is a tough one. I've asked the Alumni Association. Nobody's gotten back to me. You remember it.
Oh, I do, because it was across the street
Oh,
from my
across-
father-in-law's drugstore.
Great.
Yeah,
Great,
there
yeah.
was the
Leo
old,
was a Greek immigrant,
Yep.
and this is on Huntington Drive between Santa Anita and First Avenue on the
Across
north
the
side
street
of the
from
street.
34.
Right. It's now a dentist dental office, and it had alley access from the back. This is the parking lot near Claro's, right near Claro's, and this is the alley that we used to go. We park our car or bicycle and walk down the alley, and then Leo's was up in front here.
It has
Now,
open
if you've
air
been, if
seating.
you've
Right
taken
across
this
the-
picture just recently, what are they doing in the front?
Yeah.
it was
it
right
looks
across
like
the street
you're-
from the old Arcadia Theater.
Okay.
Right across the street from the old Arcadia Theater.
Okay.
Where I spent many years as a kid.
What year was that? I don't recall. The
37,
Okay.
about 34, 33,
Okay.
34.
pay 10 cents to
What's
get in.
happening?
Basket on the north side of
Sure.
the street there.
Yes. Well, Leo was
Did
a
you
great
pay
guy.
10 cents to
He,
get
his hamburgers were $7 for $1. You get it back.
Actually, Arcadia showed outside movies in the summertime across the street where the old Market Basket used to be.
There you go.
The old Gilmore gas station
Right.
and the Market Basket. You had outdoor, in the summertime, they had benches out there and you could go watch the movies in the summertime.
Fascinating. Boy, they were ahead of their time.
Where the parking lot is.
Yeah. $7 for $1. A bag of, they weren't his deluxe burgers, but they were $7 for $1. He was a very nice man, and he had an accent. Like I said, he was a Greek immigrant. And one of his pet expressions was, and he worked very hard, he toiled very hard, was, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And as a kid, at first, it took me a while to understand what he was talking about. But I do now. He was a great guy. And then
I have
later
one
on,
more question.
sure.
The old Care junkyard that was on Huntington Drive between the old blacksmith shop. Smith had a blacksmith shop right behind our house on the alley of Alta Street, and next to there was Care's junkyard,
Oh,
and then Bertelson's Market, Vanderburg's hair salon, and then Best gas station. Across the street was Sockman's garage, and from there I can't remember the rest of it on the other
wow.
side.
Well, I'm glad that this Leo's Penny Burger sparked your...
Oh, the outback backs up to my property now.
Okay, so you're really familiar with the area.
Yeah, but like I said, you
Yeah.
look in that front window now, and it looks like there's been an earthquake in that front.
Right. It looks like they're remodeling or doing something. They're building from the back
You've got
there.
a ways to go.
Yes, they sure do. These are recent photos, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, how about the station? It's now called something else now, but you remember Mary? There was a lady in there. She was. We go in there after high school. A lady named Mary, and this was in the back part of the bar. This is on Huntington. This is in the back behind Huntington, behind Baldwin Avenue.
Yeah, Baldwin, yeah.
And through this door to the right, there was a small kitchen there, and there was a very nice lady that used to make hamburgers. And I suspected that she made them for people, the patrons of the bar. But she'd let us in. We couldn't go into the bar, but she would let us in, and we could go in. And she made the best homemade hamburgers, and it was really good. And her name was Mary, and I don't know what happened to her, but again, that was a place to eat before the Big Mac.
And where was this?
This was at the station. It's a little tavern. It's still there. It's on Baldwin Avenue, about diagonally across from where Henshaw's used to be, where it is now
It's
Burlington.
on the east side of the street.
Right. It's on the east side of the street, just right next to the Arcadia Gardens Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
It used to be Cosmatos.
No, not the Arcade
No,
Garden.
not Arcadia Garden. That's up
That's
farther.
up further.
Yeah,
That's-
it's
Arcade Garden is where,
Chez Saint-Two used to be.
yeah, where Chez Chateau used to be.
Right.
This is just north of the bank,
Right. And the Anthony's was right here next door.
The other place was the Chevy dealer.
Right.
Kent.
Should,
Chez Chateau, yeah, that was a Chevy
be a
dealer, yeah.
Chevrolet agency.
Oh, you mentioned Chez Saito, Rio
It
Saito.
used to be a
It used to be a Chevrolet.
Chevrolet dealer, yeah. White Chevrolet with it?
Bates for
forgot
a
the
while,
name.
it was a couple different names, I can't remember the other.
Great.
Anthony's Market was the one that,
Kent.
that's where it was started as Bob's Market.
Oh, really?
We went there in 1938. That was our market.
Really?
Yeah.
Bob's Market. Wow.
Where was that?
Before that, it was a
Anthony's, Anthony's Italian Deli and Restaurant.
When did it become Anthony's?
Uh, quite a bit, probably in the 50s. But then there was a hub, beer place, and that's the back right there.
Uh-huh. Right.
And, they
Right.
were,
That would be just south of Anthony's?
yes, just
Right,
south of
right.
Anthony's.
This has been here a long time, this place.
Hub's Bar.
Okay.
That's across the street from Bruce Wetmore's gas station.
Yes, Bruce Whitmore had his station across the
That's
street.
where I got my first job.
Oh,
They're on Baldwin?
1938. These two
15
gentlemen.
cents a
Down
gallon.
between Duarte and Naomi.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, where all those stores are now.
Right.
And how much was gas when you were in
Probably 18, 20 cents a gallon.
Gee.
that? Did you get pumping?
Whatever.
16.9
Taco treat.
There's the taco treat that we
Yeah.
were talking about earlier.
That's down by
Live
Huh?
oak.
Yeah.
On Live Oak, yeah.
There used to be a donut shop.
Right. Yes, that's right. Anybody remember the Embers restaurant? Yeah, that was a watering hole and restaurant.
When we first moved to Arcadia, my wife and I took her parents, my in-laws, to the Embers for a special dinner. For some reason I ordered soup. When I got it, there was a fly right in the middle of the bowl. And I didn't know
Doing
what
the
to do.
backstroke.
Because, waiter, and then my in-laws would know this is a crummy joint. So I ate around it. A little extra protein.
Yep. Very good.
Where was this? The address?
There's a Wachovia Bank right across the alley from it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
This is
That's-
the general vicinity.
Yeah, Embers, yeah.
It's funny.
What was its mailing address? Duarte?
Duarte Road, right, Duarte Road. It was owned by a
It
fellow
was in the
named,
back, yeah.
right,
Yeah,
in the back.
yeah.
It was owned by a
Wasn't on
fellow
the
named
street.
Bill Darr. And he owned a liquor store down the street. He eventually owned a liquor store. And the funny thing about this, well, this is so funny, it burned. It burned down.
I remember the burn. Yeah,
So,
Kathy Kennedy on there?
I think so. Yeah, Fort Darr.
Yeah, that was a fancy place. It doesn't look so fancy. The fly died for him, so good.
Oh,
So yeah, we stopped being here.
really? Really?
Then we ended up in friends working there, volunteering.
Like that bank that you were talking about, that used to be a Bank of America on the corner.
Right. And it was a World Savings, I think.
World Savings for a long time.
Security was down there.
Today it has to be real.
So this met its demise, just as it's, the namesake, the Embers. It became Embers, and they never rebuilt. Thrifty Soda Fountain. We were just here, Scott,
Northwest
we
corner first.
put our marker up, our Historic Society put a marker up. That is also the location of the Arcadia's first city hall. And, but after that, there was a Thrifty drugstore there. And Earl brought in, as long as we're on this, Earl brought in a menu. This is very interesting, a fountain grill menu from Thrifty's. You could get a thick malt or shake for 30 cents. You could get a sky high sundae for 35 cents. A jumbo banana split for 39 cents, and inside is the menu. Hamburger sandwich, 55 cents. So I'll pass this around if anybody'd like to take a look at it.
Does anybody remember the old Christmas tree that all the kids got to go up and get a gift at Christmas time right next to the city hall, between the city hall and the library? There was a big Christmas tree, and every year we could go up there and get one gift, the firemen put it on, and a popcorn ball. That was our Christmas.
Wow.
That was,
lunch.
that was 1929, 1930, 31.
I wonder if we're getting off the subject about restaurants, but it's okay. This is a free open forum. Remember Frank's Barber Shop?
Yeah.
Frank Perini up on
Still
Village
there.
Boulevard.
Still there.
It's still there. He's still there, right?
Right.
During Christmas time, a friend of mine, Nick Pokerjack.
How about the Corpse family? Corpse had a barber shop on First Avenue.
Oh, okay. I don't know about them, but you mentioned about the Christmas tree and whatever. Long story short, we all got a Christmas present from Frank.